those remnants of it following that period. This is a movement in analytic philosophy, and it has to do with epistemology and philosophy of science, and I will get to what all this means here soon. But we had this group of scientists, mostly scientists, but some people who were inherently philosophers, called the Vienna Circle, or the Wiener Kreis. And they wrote together a little, I guess, paper, if you would call it that, called The Scientific Conception of the World. And what was written in there was basically a methodological statements as to how philosophy should move forward against metaphysics. And I'll talk about what this is and what is meant by this specifically. This group of people, we have people like Moritz Schlick, Rudolf Carnap. Those are two big famous ones. Wittgenstein and Russell and Frege, mainly Wittgenstein. We have Wittgenstein, who wasn't really a part of the group himself, but the people of this group kind of followed his lead and sort of followed his thought process against I guess the way of looking at science and the world and such. So we have this program of anti-metaphysics and also anti-theology. And when we say anti-metaphysics, I want you to not think of metaphysics in today's contemporary style, with people like Jonathan Lowe, and even David Lewis. Like I'm not like, we're talking about like people pre-1920, pre-1920-ish. Pre-1920 and also 20th century philosophy, continental philosophy. So we're talking like Hegel, Heidegger, even Husserl, Fichte or Schelling and Nietzsche, even like the continental thinkers of the 19th and 20th centuries. So, and basically the whole thing is like, think about this statement: the nothings. What does that mean to you? I mean, that can have some meanings. This is written by Martin Heidegger, who this is in the essay by him called Was ist Metaphysics, and I use this when I'm talking about logical positivism, because Carnap, in his article "The Elimination of Metaphysics Through the Logical Analysis of Language," kind of was bashing Heidegger, and he had a longer quote from that essay, but this is one of the things he stated: the nothings. Through observation and experience, how can we verify what this means? That's the whole question. The whole thing with anti-metaphysics is that they are saying that we can't really verify through observation and experience what things that these people are saying means. So it's about observation, and it's about sense data. I'll get to explaining that here in a bit, and also experience. We basically were trying to kind of ground and verify things that we're talking about, things that we're philosophizing about, trying to ground them and to verify them in our experience. And sense data is, I have a certain red patch of a certain size, color, and shape, or I feel smoothness, or I smell a certain aroma. Sensual sensual data that people like Carnap and Schlick try to make the foundation for all of science, and try to bring the unshakable link between knowledge and reality based on this, or based upon experience or observation. So I have three branches of philosophy stated here, because these, and I think metaphysics also plays into it too, because they are doing metaphysics, but a very limited kind of metaphysics. They are doing metaphysics against what these guys are doing, against what, Heidegger and Hegel were doing. And so first we have epistemology, which is philosophy about knowledge, how we can build up knowledge, and two big kinds of theories in that was foundationalism and incoherentism. I have videos on both of these things. I have two playlists which will be of use to if you want to know about these two things. I have a playlist called Epistemology, and I have a playlist called Philosophy of Science, where I have videos where I talk about the logical positivist concepts in thinkers and articles, and I have other videos which might be of use to you. So, epistemology, we have foundationalism, which believe in basic beliefs, or they adhere to basic beliefs, and try to put all of knowledge and science on a foundation, which Schlick and Carnap, they try to make sense data, or experience, or observation, the foundation of all of knowledge, or in science. We have coherentism, which don't believe in those things, or don't think of knowledge as having basic beliefs. We have people like Otto Neurath, and he has a nice article which is called Protocol Sentences, which I have a video about also, which they hold that knowledge is based upon having a coherent system of beliefs, and those beliefs being justified has to do with, or is done by those beliefs standing in certain coherent and non-contradictory relations to each other, and the way that they all dovetail and fit together is the way that each belief in that system is justified. So, philosophy of science, what that is, it's philosophy of how we're going to go further in learning things and of course getting more knowledge. That's why these two things are very closely linked. These two kind of branches of philosophy, I think, are inseparable and very closely linked together. But philosophy of science is about figuring out how we can learn more things about the world, and talking about the how and the what of science itself. So logical positivism has to do with epistemology and philosophy of science, in that they are doing those two things. They are trying to figure out how we can gain more knowledge, how we can grow our scientific knowledge about the world around us. First of all, how knowledge and justification works, and how science works, and how we can gain more knowledge within science. And they all have various different theories as to how this all works. And this video is very scratching the surface, and I think that it's kind of hard to get into the very specifics of things in this one little introductory video. So I have videos which go into specific things, or specific concepts, and I have more coming out always, which can help get more into it. Thirdly, the philosophy of language. doesn't really have anything to do with this. It has to do with philosophy of language because this movement of what logical positivism has to do with the linguistic turn of philosophy. And what that means is that we are shifting towards talking about things, or we are shifting towards talking about the ways of talking, how we talk, and what the things that we say mean. Thus, it relates to meaning. Philosophy, science, and epistemology relate to these things, and truth is somewhat like that. But it's all pretty tied together, I would say. But logical positivism goes from talking about different languages. And what I mean by different languages, not like French or German. We go from talking about the language of sense data. So, if I see this board, I see patches of red and white, plus blue and plus smoothness. So the language of sense data is the language of sensory info. And the whole thing is going up in a justificatory way towards finally talking about things, thus marker board, wall, marks, and talking about things in terms of things, and then justificatorily going upward towards talking about things like geometry and arithmetic, and higher towards like physics and chemistry and higher levels of physicalistic science and scientific languages. So it's all about translation, because we are translating from the sensitive language upward to the language of things, upward to the language of mathematics and lower sciences, and upward towards advanced sciences. And that's how we get the link from knowledge to actual reality. So finally I have this little setup here, which is the way I'm going to end this video. This is the whole thing that no matter whether we're talking about foundationalism or coherentism or variations in theories of how we gain more knowledge about the world around us, by making experience or sense data the foundation of all knowledge. Everybody from the Vienna Circle onward towards even people like Ayer and Quine, they all agree with this. And I have these lines sort of on equation, probably should be more like a biconditional. But first we have verification conditions. I should also write here falsification. So the conditions under which a statement is verified. Now, what is meant by verification? So if I say something like this board is black, or if I have any kind of statement, or I have something saying that a asteroid is coming towards Earth in 20 million years, or anything in all the different languages and ways of talking, one of those is verified by figuring out that it is true and has meaning and is justified by grounding it in some sort of experience or some kind of system of beliefs that, but verification is like the way to verify a statement. We are verifying a statement, and what is meant by verifying a statement is to find it to have meaning and to have it be true in some way, shape, or form, and also to be justified. So that's why I have all these related together. Truth conditions. And I have the word conditions here because we're talking about the conditions under which something is true, verified, and meaningful, and justified. Because the conditions under which all these things of a statement is true, or the conditions under which any meaning is verified, is true, is meaningful, and is justified, is all the same thing. True, we all know what true means, and we can have coherence, theory of truth, or the correspondence theory of truth. Coherence is the coherence theory of truth is similar to the coherence theory of knowledge. However, the correspondence theory of truth is such that truth is that a statement corresponds to actual reality, and that's a very vague way of saying that. There's so much. This is a loaded thing right here, and I couldn't possibly do justice to it. Meaning conditions. The conditions under which something that we say has meaning. The logical positivism is about clarifying meaningful things and being clear, having clarity, and also clarifying meaningless things and trashing them. That's the whole thing. Justification conditions. This is a big word in epistemology. The conditions under which a belief or statement is justified. Justified means that we aren't violating any epistemic duty in believing a certain thing. If a belief is justified, then we are not committing any epistemic crime by believing it. So, I have a lot of videos that I have already in playlists, and I have videos that are constantly coming out on this to kind of get more into it. And I have some videos on specific articles by these guys, and coming out more. So I also have a video on this little group. So if you think I've messed something up, or if you think I've kind of said something wrong or done something wrong, or if you have a question, please comment below. I'd love to discuss with you. Definitely. Whenever you comment, I always get an email and I can respond, as long as the comment is of useful purposes. Thank you.